It gives me great pleasure to speak to you this evening and provide a rationale for awarding our Special Recognition Award or Achievement Award to the Rotary Club of New Waterford. I'd like to start out with a very brief history and overview of Rotary. Rotary International is an international service organization whose stated purpose is to bring together businesses and professional leaders and community leaders in order to provide humanitarian service and to advance goodwill and peace around the world. It is a non-political and non-religious organization open to all people, regardless of race, color, creed, religion, gender, or political preference. There are 35,000 member clubs worldwide and 1.2 million members known as Rotarians. The first Rotary Club was formed in 1905 when attorney Paul Harris called a meeting of 3 business acquaintances in downtown Chicago. The men chose the name Rotary because initially they rotated subsequent weekly meetings to each other's offices. Although within a year the Chicago Club became so large, it became necessary to adopt a now common practice of a regular meeting place. In 1922, the name was changed to Rotary International. The Rotary motto is service above self. The 4-way test is a component of the Rotary philosophy. It is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? The Rotary Club of New Waterford held its first organizational meeting in the Coronation Tea Room on St. Patrick's Day, March 17, 1938. Less than 2 weeks later, on March 28th, the Rotary Club of New Waterford was accepted into the membership of Rotary International as a charter member, number 4639. Some nice names here now. The original charter members were President Harry Hines, Secretary Victor Fisher, Treasurer Kay Bagley. The members at large were J.F. Chesson, L.J. Doucette, Fred Gregor, Jack Gregor, Reverend Charles Harris, Gordon Hillier, W.J. Hinchy, J.T. McMillan, David Morrison, Leroy Traits, and Lloyd Weatherby. In 1997, the club turned the corner and inducted its first female members, the first for a club in Nova Scotia. My good friend Wayne Buzzy Connors, the forward thinker that he is, made the motion to induct the ladies, an event that many consider as a game changer for the New Waterford Club. Sorry, guys. The first 4 ladies were Sister Marie Kelly, Beth Latham, Joan Chesson McDonald, and Dr. Mary Link. I noticed that Buzzy is present here this evening. I told him that if he bought a $40 ticket, I would mention his name. Promise was filled, Buzzy, and thanks for the $40. A few interesting tidbits about Rotary. One is that they meet weekly for supper. Over the years, the venues have been the Coronation Tea Room, the Acadian House, I never ever heard of these things, the Tartan Tea Room, the Hut, which was the old Mount Carmel Scout Hall located where the present KOC building is, and that's right here. It's kind of ironic that we're honoring Rotary tonight on the premises of where they had their meals and meetings over 60 years ago. It is interesting to note that in times where no venue existed for regular dinner meetings, the partners of the Rotary men, affectionately known as Rotarians, would cater to meetings held at the homes of Rotary members. I guess that was funny, I don't know. For many years, the Calvin women provided regular catering for the Tuesday evening dinners. Recently, the Salvation Army ladies have catered to the dinners at their hall on King Street. Another interesting tidbit is that for a long time, Rotary had a category system for members. So many business people, so many lawyers, so many teachers. They have since dispensed with that process. My last tidbit centers around fellowship. Fellowship is a key component of Rotary, and as an outsider, I believe it is the glue that holds this club together. I guess the club that parties together stays together. I've heard many wonderful stories about Rotary parties. On several occasions, a visiting evangelist named one Billy Graham had frequented their parties. That's an inside joke. Enough said about that. Historically, another key Rotary fellowship activity was their Rambo weekends. Legends were created on those Rambo weekends. Fellowship was also central to the local club's interactions with other Rotary clubs. In the early 80s, they hosted a district assembly and conference, hosting clubs from the other parts of Nova Scotia and clubs from PEI and Newfoundland. Because the club had a member who was district governor, that club earned the right to host the event. At the time, longtime Rotary stalwart, Donnie Blackwood was the district governor. From all accounts, the conference was a smashing success, with the fellowship and hospitality at the forefront. Rotarians, under the leadership of Stella Anthony, were a key contributor to the success of the event, which was also chaired by Buzzy Connors. It'll cost you another $40, Buzzy. Globally, Rotary is recognized for its outstanding efforts in trying to eradicate polio. Locally, the Rotary Club of New Waterford, along with contributing to the polio eradication process worldwide, donates its time and money towards disabled children. The club was also instrumental in promoting and facilitating the Rotary Clinic, which brought specialist physicians from Halifax to the local area on a regular basis to attend to local children, thereby saving parents the cost of traveling to Halifax for appointments. Since its inception, the Rotary Club of New Waterford has always supported the community activities and have been especially generous to youth. In 1968, the club donated $5,000 from the club funds to kickstart the Rink campaign. Individual members also contributed to this fund to a total of $10,000. They were also involved in funding Little League Baseball during its formative years, and some of the teams that's honored tonight would have played in those Little Leagues. So it's interesting that we're honoring Rotary on that. The club contributed money to hundreds of sports teams over the years, especially school teams making the journeys to provincial championship. 300 championships. A lot of them are schools, and back in the day we had 3 schools. So every time, if you won a Cape Breton championship, you had to go to provincials, and we needed people like Rotary to help you get there. And who can forget the Rotary Pool, the outdoor swimming area created by Rotary in the St. Agnes area. The current membership of the Rotary Club of New Waterford continues to make donations to the community. The club is small but mighty. The current members of the club are as follows: Paul Muse, Rose White, Hubert Chesson, Linda Boner, Bernie Boudreau, Barbara McDonald, Roger Guillot, Heather McNeil, Basil McGilvery, Laura Scheller, Blaise Poirier, and Duncan Roach. Bill Roach and Donnie McIsaac. Another game changer for the club came in 2015, when the club started the Number for Life draw. The suggestion came from Barbara McDonald, who got the idea from her brother Carson. Under the leadership of Barbara and Joan Chesson McDonald, the draw took off. The profits have enabled the club to make some very significant investments in our community. The reason why they are being honored here tonight is because of the amazing contribution to our youth through sport. They continue to support the rink, along with Cole Bowl and every sport group in the community, along with the sports teams at Breton Education Center. Remarkably, the Rotary Club of New Waterford has donated $52,000 over the last 4 years to youth in sport. This is an unparalleled occurrence, an outstanding investment in our youth. It's kind of ironic to think that most of the time the club existed in New Waterford, the challenge was to fundraise. Numerous auctions, dances, ticket draws were used as fundraisers, and they took their toll on membership, as fundraising is very time-consuming. Fast forward to today, when it seems the biggest challenge the club faces is to collect and count money, and administer a weekly draw. My times have changed, and it's interesting to note that it was two ladies that spearheaded the game-changing draw. Just saying. As I bring this presentation to a close, it is important to note that the Rotary Club of New Waterford contributes to the whole community, not just to youth or to the sporting community. And over the last 4 years, they have invested $240,000 to groups and causes too numerous to mention. This is a mind-blowing accomplishment which allows the club to be huge difference makers in our community. I'm now going to ask everyone present here this evening to stand, if you can, and recognize these wonderful Rotarians, as I call Duncan Roach, to accept this Special Achievement Award from the New Waterford and District Sports Hall of Fame. Duncan is a designated hitter for the first time in his life, substituting for Paul Muse. Yeah, just grab this, give me this.
Unaccustomed as I am to public speaking, I come with trepidation to accept this prestigious award on behalf of the Rotary Club of New Waterford and its president, Paul Muse, who is out of country at the present time, and the members of our club who are present here tonight and those that were not able to be here, and also honorary Rotarians like my good friend Buzzy. Now the tab is $120. Honorary members and past members and those members deceased that are not here in body but certainly are here in spirit. So it is my privilege and honor to receive this Sports Achievement Award bestowed upon our club by the New Waterford and District Heritage Sports Hall of Fame. As was mentioned by Lowell, our club was established in 1938, and we have been serving this community of New Waterford, New Victoria, River Rhine, Lingan, Scotchtown for 81 years. Our club, in its infancy to the present time, has set a number of goals. First and foremost among these goals was to provide support in terms of financial donations, and you heard the amount that has recently been donated, and also human support to a multitude of sports teams and sports athletes. We have guided many young lives in a variety of sports, as outlined by Lowell in his presentation. Some of these sports have included baseball, hockey, basketball, soccer, boxing, tennis, golf, track and field, of which I was very proficient in all. And I can't understand why I'm not being inducted into a multitude of sports and also human endeavors, both locally and internationally. And we have provided funds for individuals also to attend sports leadership camps and conferences over the years. It has been also our purpose to ensure that young people have a chance to participate in sports, no matter their social, financial, athletic background and ability. For being involved in sports, we know that we will be changing people's lives for the better. Being a Rotarian, as my fellow Rotarians can attest, is much more than just giving back to one's community. It is also about enhancing the skills, the experience, and the enthusiasm of those whom we are supporting while making great and wonderful friendships along the way. We are deeply honored tonight that you have formally recognized our achievements of 81 years in this community, in the world of sports, the world of youth, also national and international projects. A small club in this community that has indeed achieved wonderful results. The Rotary Club of New Waterford is a very diverse club, and all of our 14 members embrace all races, cultures, and religions as we give support at our weekly meetings. Again, thank you for this achievement award, and we pledge as a Rotary Club that we will continue to give service above self in the years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Duncan, for your remarks, and congratulations to you and the other Rotarians that are here this evening. Thanks, folks.